fast am I. Good evening and welcome to the Max Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. Starting tonight with a bit of Bellowhead, and this is their version of The Wife of Usher's Well. I think that's a great arrangement of The Wife of Usher's Well by Bellowhead. The great thing about folk music is that the songs will survive a treatment like that, but also exist with just one person singing unaccompanied or with a guitar or something. I was having a similar discussion to that with Jez Lowe on Friday before his gig at the Institute, which was very well attended. Thanks for coming, all of you that did, and a fantastic evening. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go and see Levant de Nord on Saturday night because I've been full of cold, as you can probably tell by my rather croaky voice this morning. Hopefully it'll add little to the ambience of this recording. Going back to 1972 now, Ralph McTell, Zimmerman Blues from his album Not Till Tomorrow. And maybe you'll guess who the artist will be that follows.
I get a little sadness now, just now and then. It comes to remind me what it was like when I was out on the road, happy, hungry and cold. First you win and then you lose. Oh Lord, I got the Zimmerman blues. 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 Don't give me money now if it's bad for my head. You can keep the honey now, put something else on the bread. Then lose all them old time friends who missed how they were making it end, and we all wound up confused. That's what you call a Zimmerman blues. What you call a Zimmerman blues. That's what you call a Zimmerman blues. What you call a Zimmerman blues. Do a concert for Angela, build a building or two. It gets harder for me, but easier for you. Sure as the stars turn above, all we ever asked for was love, and I think that we've all been used. Ending up with the Zimmerman blues. 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 I get a little sadness now, just now and then. It comes to remind me when I called you a friend. So where do we go from here? For me it won't ever get that near, and if it did, I know what I would choose. Anything but the Zimmerman blues. 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 Anything but the Zimmerman.
When you're lost in the rain in Juarez, when it's Easter time too, and your gravity fails and negativity don't pull you through. Don't put on any airs when you're down on Rue Morgue Avenue. They got some hungry women there, and they really make a mess out of you. Now if you see Saint Annie, please tell her thanks a lot. I cannot move, my fingers are all in a knot. I don't have the strength to get up and take another shot. And my best friend, my doctor, won't even say what it is I got. Sweet Melinda, the peasants call her the goddess of gloom. speaks good English and she invites you up into her room. And you're so kind and careful not to go to her too soon. And she takes your voice and leaves you howling at the moon. Up on Housing Project Hill, it's either fortune or fame. You must pick one or the other, though neither of them are to be what they claim. If you're looking to get silly, you better go back to from where you came. Because the cops don't need you, and man, they expect the same. Now all the authorities, they just stand around and boast how they blackmailed a sergeant at arms into leaving his post. Picking up Angel, who just arrived here from the coast, who looked so fine at first but left looking just like a ghost. But soon hit the harder stuff. Everybody said they'd stand behind me when the game got rough. But the joke was on me, there was nobody even there to bluff. I'm going back to New York City, I do believe I've had enough.
And I followed Zimmerman Blues by Ralph McTell with Just Like Tom Thumb's Blues by Robert Zimmerman, aka Bob Dylan, of course, from Highway 61 Revisited. What a fantastic album that is, and one of my favourite songs from it. Last week I played you a track by Charlotte Karavic from her new album that's coming out called Sensible or Otherwise. Here's one with a great title, I'm Glad That's Not My Dog. Absolutely wonderful flat picking guitar there by Charlotte Karovic. And that album is coming out later this week. Also a wonderful mandolin player there by Evan Davies, who plays in the Often Heard, who come into the island in May next year. Watch this space. More new music now, this time from Thorpe and Morrison. That's Sean Morrison on fiddle and Harry Thorpe on guitar, along with Alex Garden, who I've seen play guitar with Sheelanigig and also fiddle with Taran. They're very talented as well. Thorpe and Morrison's new album is Grass and Granite and is actually released today. And this particular track is called The Girl I Left Behind Me.
The dames of France are fond and free, and Flemish lips are willing. Soft the maids of Italy, and Spanish eyes are thrilling. But though I pass beneath their charms fail to buy me. My heart goes back to Erin's Isle, to the girl I left behind me, to the girl I left behind me. Well, she's as fair as Shannon's side and purer than its water, but she refused to be my bride, though in many a year I sought her. And since to France I've sailed away, her letters oft remind me. My heart goes back to Erin's Isle, to the girl I left behind me, to the girl I left behind me. My own true love, come home, my friends are rich and many, or else abroad with you I'll roam, a soldier stout as any. If you'll not come, not let me go, I'll think you have resigned me. My heart near broke when I answered no, to the girl I left behind me. So never shall my true love brave a life of was and toiling, and never as a skulking slave I'll tread my native soil on. But were it free or to be free, the battle close will find me. My heart goes back to Erin's Isle, to the girl I left behind me, to the girl I left behind me, to the girl I left behind me, to the girl I left behind me.
A great track there by Thorpe and Morrison. Let's have more new music now from Tim Eady from his new album Little Bird, 22 compositions, 1995 to 2024. And this is Broadstairs Jig and Fungi's Jig. new album that seems to have been trailed for a very long time but is now released is Patterns in Repeat by Laura Marling, and this is a lovely song from it. It's called Patterns.
Now you squared your toes, but your family nose hangs around. You still a ballerina, everybody knows that your feet are on the ground. But as the years go by and points comply with ever more relief, then patterns in repeat can begin to have your children, your flock of birds, your branch among the wood. You'll try to tell them, but you're lost for words, 'cause it's so absurd how good and as those years go by they'll look upon you kindly like a friend, a pattern in repeat and never end.
Two great tunes there from Pat Walsh's album Simply Whistle, which is an album that does exactly what it says on the tin. They were the Mystery Reel and Norton's Reel. Gonna have another tune now, this time by Imar, who of course have amongst their ranks Thomas Callister and Adam Rhodes from the island. And this one is from what I think was their first recording, Afterlight from 2009, and it's L'Air Mignon, which came on at home the other day, and I thought, I know that tune. Music happening around the island this week. Well, after all the excitement of various visiting bands and such like over the last few weeks, it's all gone a bit quiet again. But that doesn't mean there's no great music to go and support. The usual sessions are all happening, so that'll be O'Donnell's on Wednesday night, and the Mitre on Friday night, and the Sunday afternoon session I think will be the Black Dog Oven in Peel. Also happening in Peel on Friday the 15th, at the Athol Room Concerts at the Centenary Centre, are the Whiskey Boys. My friends Mark Tiley and Dick Best will be entertaining you, along with Peter Corkle and Derek Oates. There'll be the Folk Club in Ramsey on Thursday night, and lots of other great music happening in other venues. Do let me know if you know of other music that's happening, and I will certainly announce it here on The Folk Show. Last week I asked you the question, who returned home on the 5th of November? It was, of course, Spencer the Rover. I've played enough versions of that song that you should know that by now, but nobody emailed me. Please email me at the show and ask for some tracks, tell me about live music. Write me a real letter with a pen and paper if you like, but it'd be great to hear from you. The email address is folkshow@manxradio.com. Now 3 tracks with a link here, but the link will only be obvious for a very few people on this planet. I was away in Scotland a few weekends ago, climbing some Munros, Stucacroin and Stobinian, with some of my good old university friends. It was nice to be out on big hills again, even if the weather wasn't great. We were sharing some refreshments in the camper van later on, after one of those walks, and this track came on, very appropriately. She Climbs the Munros by Hushman.
So strong and she's brave, softly she goes down that summer road, and she knows all her names, the hills in her eyes, on this slow motion day. She climbs the Munro as she goes, lifeline gone. She climbs the Munros high as she goes. She's gentle, young, invincible. 'Cause she would not come sheltering under 1,000 years. The silence we found pulled her around, and now it's alright. She climbs the Munros high as she goes. She climbs the Munros high as she goes. She is gentle, young, invincible. Maybe we'll turn over and stay in bed with the light shining under the door. Memories and photographs of somebody else on a fleeting, far-off thread. She sits as the mist rolls over the land, far down below. And so strong and she's brave. This is her time. She's not gonna fall on her own.
So that track was for Mick and Pete and Martin, who I climbed those Munros with a couple of weeks ago. And by coincidence, I was just looking at the homepage of this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and there are 2 reviews on there, and one of them is from Abby Collins, who is Martin and Alison's daughter. They live way up in the north of Scotland at Forres, and she says, "Love listening to your podcasts. It's a hit in the Collins house." By the way, if you can leave a review on Apple Podcasts or the other platforms such as YouTube where you can hear the podcast, that would be great because it really helps spread the show to new listeners. So thanks for that, Abby. Now, Abby has just set off on a massive cycle tour across Europe and perhaps going even further. At the moment, she's in Turkey, and you can follow her adventures on Instagram. The.shrieking.beetroot is her page, so I wish her very well. She's a big fan of edgelarks and in fact had some online harmonica lessons with Phil, who you may remember I had online slide guitar lessons from earlier this year. And I think this is one of her favourite songs by edgelarks. This is Song for Caroline Herschel.
Sun sinks low, night draws in. Now is the time for stargazing. I left my home, I thought I would die, but then I was shown we're still under the same sky. I once dreamt I was a singer on the stage, and somebody might hear what I had to say. But then I awoke, I found my life was not my own. My brother took me to look for stars somewhere so far from home. Well, singing and stargazing, in the end they're much the same. Searching for harmony in the great dance of all things. Caught between the cold, cold earth and the never, never clouds. Dreaming yourself into other worlds. manage not to fall. I'll curtsy very low through the telescope's frame, and I'll ask them if my life has been lived in vain.
Now finally in these 3 link tracks, I'm going to play some Skyrie from their new album Hunger Road. I played something a few weeks ago and Martin said that Alison was dancing around the kitchen up there in Forres. So get your dancing shoes on, Alison. This is called The Fish. Well, that's pretty much all I've got time for this week. We're off to Yorkshire on Wednesday, a couple of nights in York and a couple of nights in Harrogate. And on Friday night in Harrogate, we're going to see Bellowhead. I started the show with one of their tracks, so we'll finish that way too. This is Yarmouth Town from their album Hedonism from 2010. I'll be back for next week to play more great folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world, so I'll see you then.
In Yarmouth town there lived a man who kept a tavern by the strand. This landlord had an auto fare, the plump little thing with the golden hair. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Well, to this tavern came a sailor man. He asked the daughter for a hand. Why should I marry you? She said, I get all I want without being wed. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth town? but she says if you want with me to linger, I'll tie the string all around my finger. You come by and you pull on the string, I'll come down and I'll let you in. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Well, the very next night that sailor man, he went to the tavern by the sand, and he went by, pulled on a string, she came down and she let him in. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Well, he had never seen such a sight before. On a string around her finger was all she wore, and when he went and he pulled on the string, she pulled out the blankets and let Jack in. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? And there he spent the whole night through, and early in the morning went back to his crew, where he told them all about that maiden fair, the plump little thing with the golden hair. Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? And the word it soon got around, and the very next night in Yarmouth Town there were 15 sailors pulling on a string. She came down and she let them all in. Oh, won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? So come all the young sailors were down to Yarmouth to go. See a plump little thing with a hanging low. Well, all you got to do is pull on the string. She'll come down and she'll let you in. Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down to Yarmouth Town? Won't you come down, won't you come down, won't you come down?